Okay, hi, Chris Mack here. We are going to talk today about AI. This is something that's coming up in a lot of my client calls, my student calls, and it makes sense. But we are small business owners. We are the brick and mortar shop owners, the mom and pop shops. We are not going to be replaced with a definitely artificial intelligence, but if we're talking like a physical robot who might cut your hair or clean your house, maybe. I mean, they're starting, right? We got Roombas already, so they're definitely not like cleaning or repairing baseboards or doing your electrical. But the fact is, there are very basic things where today, small business owners, brick and mortar shop owners, your mom and pop shops can be leveraging AI to just make the day-to-day more smooth, streamlined, get rid of mundane, repetitive tasks, take talent and put talent where talent is best. I think it's actually really exciting, and it can inspire more creative energy, more room for teamwork, by taking out those like tedious, tiring drafts for email replies, right? I've said this so many times in my like however many years, like I don't know, I want to say 15 years easily. But then if I even look at my time as an employee, even times I did admin and reception, like taking 45 minutes to compose an email to a customer because it was loaded. And you have to look up, like what did we say in the past? What was their deposits? And you're taking this to craft a really nice sandwiched email and to make sure that you're protecting the business, but also giving excellent customer service, but also, addressing their points. 45 minutes, easy. So what if you could just cut that time down? What if you could get half an hour back? Maybe not the full 45. But what if you could get even 30 minutes back? What if you could simplify that email response? What if you could get 44 minutes back because it's that fast now? Things are already being drafted and AI is tracking what's going on, understands the emails, understands past communications, and is able to prepare a draft for you. And all you have to do is review it. You wake up in the morning, you review, or you check in every few hours and you review what needs to be responded to. And then if you're like, yep, sounds good, you can just send it off. So now you're just reviewing. And you probably do that with your staff already anyway. So let's talk about how we can use AI, leverage AI in our brick and mortar businesses in a real way. We're not replacing our receptionists anytime soon. So after my conversations, going over different tools, seeing what tools we're already using, how those tools and maybe those memberships, those subscriptions have already integrated with some sort of AI or built their own. There's those things to review. I always say, number one, go through what you're already paying for and see what they're doing. That's gonna be a whole lot more affordable for you in many ways. You also don't have to learn anything else. There's no, what it takes to transfer things. Like it's a mess moving from one software to another. So even though it's doable, it can be a bit of a mess, or at least it takes time from you, which the whole point of this is to save time, right? So if we are like, what do we already use? Maybe we already use QuickBooks. Well, what's QuickBooks doing today? Maybe we have a clinic and we already use Jane. What is Jane doing today? Has Jane built something? Have they expanded within their own software, offering their own unique service? Or have they collaborated with another company who they seamlessly integrate with? I mean, these are really cool things to be looking at. But as a brick and mortar business, you really have to look at your client experience and where is it worth training your customer, and where is it like we're not going to sacrifice our welcome, for example. When someone walks into our business, what vibe, what experience are we giving? Are we known for that we're just not willing to compromise on? So like a lot of people are going to spend the time and the money training a receptionist, a hostess, and they're not going to give that up because that's part of why they built their business in the first place. It's the level of customer service they want to be able to offer. It's the warmth. Also, what's your demographic? Are your customers really at an age that they're going to be wanting to be trained on something new? So there's a lot of questions to really understand who you are first as a business, and then what are the AIs that are absolutely non-negotiables? Like we have to implement these today. Might even, like I said, might even be a service you're already paying for, and they've just, had an update and are offering some really cool tools. And you just gotta pay attention to that email. Well, it says, hey, hello, we're now we now offer this, and take a minute to learn that, set it up, and go on with it. It takes a little bit of time to train your AI. So remember that what you're doing, we're working on our business right now, because when we're working in our business, these things are going to be like, it's going to become a well-oiled machine, and things are going to work so much more smooth in the future. But it takes a little bit of investment in the beginning to choose your product, choose your AI, train it, get it working, run some tests, maybe train staff, but then like the payoff is so worth it. It's like when I took the time in my business to put together my wedding booklet, it paid off for years. That was one of the best things I did and spent my time on. I worked a couple nights late in the night. I worked on my business so I could work in my business and get myself into a point where we were booking our weddings 2-3 years in advance, because we were known for being super uber organized, super duper organized. Okay, AI, number one, AI receptionist, customer communication. You're not going to replace your receptionist if you have a clinic. Unless you have a little robot that comes up and has a little iPad and they check in, like, who's your customer? Who's your ideal client? What are they expecting? And maybe that's something in the future for you, but maybe it's not today. But can you streamline? Can you automate some basic things? If you're not looking to replace your receptionist right now, maybe you do have, again, we're talking about brick and mortar shop owners. Someone opens the door, they expect someone there to greet them. You know, in some ways, an iPad can do the trick when they check in, whatever. But most of the time, most business models do require someone to say hello, to take a jacket, to hang a jacket, to offer a cup of tea. Like your spa, are you willing to give up that customer experience? So no, we're not going to eliminate our receptionist, but we can like totally improve their day-to-day. We can totally improve that role and make it so consistent and make it work for us that it doesn't matter if it's your part-time receptionist if it's your full-time's on vacation, the responses are the same, the frequently asked questions are getting the same answers because you have automated so many things. So here's some ideas. Small businesses lose an incredible amount of time. I'm experiencing it. And there's things I'm like, oh, I've got to take the time just to work on my business when I'm not in my business. I need to set up automations for things like what? Hours, holiday hours, how to book, booking info, shipping questions. How many of you get the same shipping question and you feel like you're typing in like, please go to my website. You'll see a tab called shipping and you're like, it's right there. You go, a little hamburger, and it, like first thing that pops up is shipping. Doesn't matter. People want to ask. They want to ask a question and they want to feel like someone behind there cares. AI can do that for you. Do you have this in stock? You can use AI bots. Someone can literally ask, do you have this in stock? Ask the question and it will populate the answer. It feels like a real person's taking the time that cares and is answering, even though yes, they could go to your website and check for the item and see that it's not in stock or it is in stock. Right? Like we're feeding. This is about customer service. This is what people are used to when they're dealing with mom and pop shops, brick and mortar businesses. Now, here's a no-brainer. This one's been going on for the longest time, and yet I still know of mom and pop shops that do not use this basic service. Have you been to a nail salon that doesn't have appointment reminders? It still happens today. Shocking amount. Appointment reminders, confirmations of appointment reminders. The day before, the hour before, you get a text, like basic AI. Does your clinic offer appointment reminders? Does your restaurant offer appointment reminders, reservation reminders? Your AI can help with your website. People can go right to the website and chat right there on the website. It can handle automated email replies, more than just vacation. Like most of us have our Gmail and we've set up the vacation response, sure. But like imagine having something a little smarter than that. Having someone having a system, having a service that's able to tell more what the email's about and send out a automated email reply that is a little more customized than just like a generic vacation out of office email, a generic out of office email reply that most people ignore. Sometimes it includes very crucial information and tells them even how to like get the answer, but it's just too much, so they don't read it. My favorite is missed calls, text immediate immediate response, follow up. That's Open Phone, now Quo. I've been using that for 3 years. Before that, it was eVoice. Before that, it was Rogers Unison. But I was even so early on to the game with that I was waiting for Rogers Unison. They were telling me that they're developing something. They didn't have a name for it yet, but they told me something's in the works. And at that time, I had been using Ring Central. So like automated something so basic, being able to call a number after hours when your shop is closed, but still being able to answer your customer, letting them know what your hours are, how to book, how to make a reservation, anything that, like, I had even the call tree, like, here's their questions. Hi, welcome to, please listen to the following options. And here you are, a small business, a mom and pop shop, and yet you're able to offer the level of service that these big corporations were offering. People feel like they're getting answers when they need them. When they think of you, they're getting the answer. They call, they press 3, they know how to now book their restaurant reservation. They now know how to put in their inquiry for you for their wedding venue. They've been directed to the right section or tab on the website. Because for some reason, people don't like looking through websites. Even if your website is very easy to navigate, they still just they'd rather go to a chat and message you on Facebook Messenger. That's what they prefer to do. So that was number 1. Number 2, this is probably one you feel, if you're into social media at all, if you're into marketing, you're probably more aware of what's available when it comes to social media and marketing and things you're able to automate, especially things like email marketing. I'm really big on email marketing. That's how I built my business. I was never really a huge fan of social media. I just don't really love the idea of building a business on something that's rented, which is also why I really wanted to move out of leasing and move into owning my building. That was a huge driving force for me. Big decisions I made were because of wanting to own where I'm building my business. The same philosophy I have clearly translates through where my time and energies have been spent in my business, and very little was spent in on social media platforms. Rather, it was spent email marketing. Everything I did brought you to my website and had you fill in something, some shape or form, whether it was a charity event, whatever we were doing, I got your email address. And that was early on. That was like 2012 for me, but I also had worked in other businesses doing that as well. Email marketing is huge, and now it is like super duper automated. It is getting so cool. So I would definitely spend a lot of time and attention getting your email marketing platform figured out and making it work for you. And then on the other hand, when it comes to social media marketing, that's just what everyone they hear marketing, they think social media, rather than understanding social media is a tool. It's not a marketing strategy, it's a tool. But here's some things. Instagram captions. Don't think, just even if you do a video or something, have it review it and have it pull what they think the caption should be. They can write the hook. You can also, for your product descriptions, a lot of different type of online selling platforms actually pre-populate now. Poshmark, for example, it has its own AI built in. So it just kind of looks at the images that you've uploaded and it suggests size, brand, description. It's amazing. Of course, there's campaigns. If you need an outline for a campaign, anything you're really doing with your business, if you've been involved in something, you have some fine print you got to figure out, whatever it is, you can use some sort of AI to help you and just get the thinking work off your head, off your plate, and just get it done. And I always say this too, you need to review. You still need to review. And as you're working with these different AI tools, they do learn you, they understand your verbiage, they understand your tone, they start to really, like a good employee who's been there for a while, they start to pick up on what they need to do, but you still are the boss. You still need to review. So yes, you're going to get it to maybe outline an agreement for you, but you're still going to review it, and you're likely even going to have your lawyer review it as well, right? But the idea is how much work, how much time did you just save yourself by utilizing this tool, by leveraging the tool? Okay, number 3, what about something like inventory? Inventory has always been such a pain for me. We have so many different types of inventory. Then you're running sales, and sometimes you're just or you're bringing things to an event and you're just sell it. And you realize, I need to take this out of inventory now. And it can be such a headache. And yet the tools that are managing inventory have become so much more intelligent, and they work really well for us. So it's a little bit of research, figure out what tool works for you, but get it helping you with your inventory. It can help you categorize inventory. It can help you with your SKUs. It can even like write like your SKU descriptions. It can help you predict popular items when it comes time to ordering. That helps, like, being able to, the analytics that are involved with what's been selling, what do you have in, what to order next. That's where AI comes in. Even things like streamlining product tagging. That's more for in-store brick and mortar, but I mentioned, like, look at Poshmark. Same kind of idea, right? You're still doing all the pricing, the tagging. It's getting so much of it pre-populated for you. Now all you have to do is review. Okay, number 4, what about training staff? You'll hear me talk a lot about training manuals, communication binders, agreements. Okay, training staff, leverage AI. One of the biggest problems in small business, and this is an area I get brought in a lot, is that so much is in the owner's head and it needs to be communicated to the team and consistently and before staff come in, or before there's a problem, or not in the middle of an event, or the sale wasn't communicated. Part of the team was there when the sale started, but people weren't there that day. People work part-time. Nothing's consistent. So I'm always like training manual, communication binder. These are things. These are things to implement. Well, now you can do the same. You can offer the same sort of solutions that these old school binders, notebooks offered, leveraging AI. You can do things like staffing manuals. You can do things like all your documentation, really, like your onboarding documents, for example. What about customer service scripts? Not only are you going to get those done and teach them to your staff, you're also going to plug that into your website and have your bot answering, your customers consistently with the same answer. Closing and opening procedures, checklists, updating checklists, all these things. It can help you. It can track. It can make that. All you have to do is hit print and get it done, or send document. One thing I've spent a lot of time doing are training videos, and it's amazing to me what you're able to do now. Even Notebook LM, my training videos, I would not do them the same as I did years ago. Even my wedding videos, when I was breaking down frequently asked questions and I was doing all through my video library, answering every single bridal question we would get in like a 1 to 3 minute max video, I would just have that Notebook LM do that for me now. And I say that because it comes with like my workspace, right? But there's other tools you can use as well for those, some really cool tools. Depends how fancy you want to get. Okay, what about number 5, customer retention? What are we thinking about customer retention? I had awesome software. I had really good software. I was spoiled. We found amazing software, and we had all of these things, like callbacks were done by email. If you had a special anniversary date, we could plug that into your profile and you were sent whatever promotion we want to offer. The minute, you left and you had your service, there was a follow-up email to check in to see how things were, or reminders. Certain services had certain documents attached. So if there was things like you needed to make sure you were doing for the next week or two, it sent that automatically. And now those services, those software services, SaaS, software as a service, those things that I was really into and made sure we got a really good one, are that much more, I'd say, advanced now, but also I think more attainable, because it was quite expensive at the time. And looking what we spent then, what that would cost today, is pretty significant. So I'm like, you know what? There's a lot that's AI, all the different companies are getting very competitive and we're getting better rates. And so much is included with Google now. It's insane. One of the things I love too is programming, like if we hadn't seen someone in 6 months. So from the last visit, 6 months, a we miss you email would go out. Just little things like that. Not that you're not thinking of certain people, or not that you're as a small business owner, you're chopping, you're getting ready, doing meal prep, and you're like, oh, I haven't seen her in a while. How long has that been? We have those moments all the time because we're small business. We love our customers. That's why we went into business. But just that mental stress, or like when it actually hits you and you're thinking, man, I think it's been like 8 months, 9 months. Imagine if something else was just programmed that sent that email out. So at least they were getting that immediate surface level follow-up. You can always, of course, reach out personally, not spamming anybody, but especially if it's a really good client you've had for years, you might want to reach out personally as the owner. But just that regular maintenance, people get it, and the emails can sound so personal now. Never take for granted as a small business what it means for customers to get little follow-up emails from you and we miss you. It means a lot. It really does. Okay, number 6, I touched on this, but when it comes to data analytics, business insights, the things that you might go to an analyst for, imagine just being able to leverage AI for that. Like, we're talking a fraction of the cost. So we touched on this with inventory, but sales trends, busy hours, peak hours, your Google business page is already doing that for you. Like, think of, that's what I was saying in the beginning, like, even think of the tools that you're already using, are already paying for, already have access to. The question is, are you utilizing it? Like, you might have it, it might be there, but are you actually making an effort to utilize that, to understand the information that it's giving you? Top performing products. What about top sales, top your employees? My software, again, this was old. It was my like download on the desktop type, but it told me booking rates, client retention, who's booked the most hours out of their day, who's making the most money per hour, who has the highest, retail sales. Like, that is stuff that is so valuable to a small business. And now that information is so accessible for all business types. Customer behavior, seasonal buying, different seasonal buying habits. So it's like you're getting your structure, you're able to structure and benefit like a big corporate company when you're just a little mom and pop shop that might have 2 or 3 employees, and for a very affordable rate. That's what I'm loving about it. I had some really good features with my software years ago, but not at the rates I'm seeing today. Okay, last one, number 7. This is one we're all going to appreciate as a small business owner. Your own mental bandwidth. Just saving your own mental bandwidth is, where is your time better used? If you're a barber, isn't your time better cutting and standing and talking to the customer and actually delivering and giving a service than closing out the cash and trying to balance the books? I totally want you to be aware of your accounting and not let that go. But you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if you, again, something that took you 30 minutes every night, imagine if it could now take you 3 to 5 minutes. So now it's things like marketing, staffing, staff schedules, customer issues. You've delegated those. You have a bot working for you, answering the tedious, mundane, constant, repetitive questions. Like, handle that. Or helping you draft a response for a big customer issue. Like, again, we're leveraging AI for various reasons. Scheduling. You need help scheduling. Remember those days you're having to, like, okay, so-and-so's in university, they have an exam coming up, but this person wants vacation, this person, you can literally plug everything in. This is this, make a schedule for me that works. Boom, it's done. Something that might have taken you 45 minutes to an hour now took you 5 minutes. Especially if you have all your staff, they have to, like, you say, submit what you need for this month, and you give them a template and they have to submit it. So they're even doing that work rather than just talking to you like, hey, by the way, Joan, I need next Friday off, okay? Imagine me like, you need next Friday off? No problem. You know the drill. Go submit it. AI figures it out for you. Bookkeeping, we already touched on that, like closing, but like regular bookkeeping. One thing I love to use chat for is ideas and planning. I really love chat for ideas and planning. Sometimes I just want to talk. I can use the actual talking feature, but most of the time I just use dictation, and I just talk to it. I'm like, here, this is what I'm thinking. I need this, but I'm thinking that. Okay, what about this? What about that? And he'll spit out an idea, and people who know me know that I argue with all the time. No, that doesn't make any sense, because what about this and what about that? Oh, that's true, Chris. That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that out. I'm like, yeah, thanks, chat. I know. Talk to him like a real person. 7 ideas. I think I actually had 20. Some were repetitive and some I was like inventory and, managing and analytics of sales, and then like bookkeeping. Sometimes you're like, that's going to be the same tool though. Even though they're equally and independently important, sometimes they kind of just all fall under the umbrella of like QuickBooks, or Google or whatever. But I was like, okay, no, let's just summarize these into 7. I love 7. It's my favorite number. Let's do 7, and let's just get the ball rolling. We're going to be talking about this a lot more. And in the description, I am going to give you my notes from this video, and I'm going to give you some of my favorite tools or even tools I've been interested in, maybe you haven't even ventured into yet, but I'm going to give you the suggestion as well, okay? Yes, so we'll talk again. We'll talk about AI. If you have any questions, anything, you know where to find me. My link will be also in the description, and I take all of my YouTube inquiries, comments, anything like that. I want them personally to me, even though, yes, I understand the algorithm likes, messaging on the actual YouTube platform, but I like to really get them internally so I can manage it myself. And I honestly would rather the traffic on my own website because I own it. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.